Well, hi everybody. It's going into Saturday evening here, and I thought this would be a good time to update things. We are still playing weather model roulette as the models continue to try to figure all this out, and we're going to go into all of this. It's very complex, and I'm going to try to take everybody step by step, so that you'll know what's going on for your particular area. So first off, we're going to set the table tonight. These are the forecast lows for the area. And you can see there's cold air upstate. We've got temperatures that are going to be bottoming out in the teens and single digits. And this is important because while we still maintain the block, some of that cold air is bleeding southward. So we will see lows down in the 20s and low 30s, all the way down into southwest, well, not quite into the southwest corner of Pennsylvania, but certainly in south central Pennsylvania, low 30s there. I bring that up because that area is going to probably get some serious icing as precipitation develops during the early morning hours. And of course, as you move further east and north, you're looking at lows mostly upper 20s and low 30s. But we may see skies from New York City north and east clear for a while tonight before the high clouds take over. And that will probably allow temperatures to drop down pretty low. Looking at some lows in the low 20s and even the upper teens as you head up into the Hudson Valley and on into the Catskills. So this is going to just essentially set the table for everything for tomorrow. Our storm system, well developed, a huge comma-shaped swirl here on the satellite loop late this afternoon. A lot of high clouds streaming northeastward. There's a separate area of precipitation that's showing up on the radars right now across Kentucky, southern Ohio, into southern West Virginia, and then in a narrow line along the New Virginia-North Carolina border. There's nothing going on in the Northeast this evening, and there won't be anything going on in the East for a good part of the night, although we will start to see precipitation beginning to develop in southern Pennsylvania. And then back where the surface low is, which is up near Nebraska, you see the rotation. This is all snow back through the northern plains where they're getting clobbered right now with heavy snow. The surface map, well, I'll go to this in a second. Here's the surface map from the Weather Prediction Center. So there's your wrapped up low in eastern Nebraska. It's a 988 low. You've got your Canadian high kind of enveloped around it. And of course, you still have that blocking low sitting right over eastern Newfoundland. And that is holding all this cold air in place. And you're pushing that low into that block. So eventually it's going to weaken. And then we're going to start to watch the redevelopment that's going to occur somewhere along the Delaware, southern New Jersey coast, or just off the coast. And this, of course, is going to play a big role in how things come out for tomorrow. All right, so we're going to move on. I want to show you a couple of the weather models late today. We have the new NAM model. So let's take a look at what's happening here. This is at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, where there really isn't much going on. By 7 a.m., you're seeing a large area of sleet and freezing rain in the western half of Pennsylvania. There's nothing close by. The NAM's a little bit slower with this lead area of precipitation. New Jersey in the clear, New England in the clear, obviously, and even eastern Pennsylvania in the clear at this point. And this is probably the reason the slightly slower movement is going to allow for some colder temperatures tonight. By 10 a.m., we have a large area of sleet approaching Philadelphia. It goes north of northern Delaware. It looks like it'll be rain there, rain in southern New Jersey. And then we start to see that precipitation expand. At noontime, we're looking at it reaching New York City. Now, the NAM has rain into western Long Island. I think that there actually could be a burst of sleet or snow here tomorrow as the precipitation arrives. It won't last very long in those coastal areas. Outside chance that in areas as the precip moves in, there's a quick burst of coating to, I think at most you would see is an inch if it were to hold on for an hour or two. But then we start to move things along, and by tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock, it's rain on Long Island. It's rain for most of New Jersey. It's sleet and freezing rain, northern New Jersey, southern areas along Route 287. But just north of there, it's all snow. It's all snow in most of Connecticut. And at this point, we've got the snow up into the upper Hudson Valley. Now, this first shot is going to move through. Your surface low has now popped up east of Cape May, and here's where the difficult part begins, because it's just going to sit there and stall out. And now we're into 10 p.m. Sunday night, and you notice that the rain line kind of stops going north. It gets almost to about Route 84, and then it just sort of peters out. The precip peters out as well. But here we are Monday morning. This is at 7 a.m. The low has only drifted a handful of miles to the east. Now we start to see the backside, the colder air to the north, on winds going around to the northeast and north, start to pull that cold air southward. And by 10 o'clock, much of North Jersey has changed over to snow. By 1 o'clock, all of North Jersey, north of Route 195, if the NAM is correct on its radar precip presentation here, it'll be snowing in the northern half of New Jersey, the Hudson Valley, much of eastern Pennsylvania, except the extreme southeast, although you do have some snow getting down into southeast PA Monday afternoon. And your surface low, well, there's one low that the model prints out well out to the east, but if you look close, just south of Long Island, there's a closed isobar there, so there's another surface low in that point. And now here comes even colder air, and now you're starting to see, and I'm going to show you the upper low because this is very important for the coastal areas for Monday night into Tuesday. The NAM is once again generating what looks like accumulating snows here Monday night. This is at 4 a.m. on Tuesday, and it is still snowing, according to this, west of New York City and just along the Hudson River. 7 a.m. Tuesday, still coming down on Long Island and in Connecticut and in southeastern and southern New England. It's over with New York City, west and south. And then by 10 a.m., it's just about gone with the low east of Cape Cod. Now, the thing we're watching for the areas near the coast is this upper low. Because we talked about this yesterday. This is a very, very vigorous upper low that is moving along, and anytime you have something this vigorous, somebody winds up with a surprise. And here we are at 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. Your upper low is centered right in Chesapeake Bay, and it's going to take a track eventually. Well, that's good. Actually, I wanted it to go close up. No, never mind. But it's going to eventually take a track. There we go. There's your upper low. It's going to move to the northeast. And north and west of there, this is a very, very cold feature in the upper atmosphere, and it's very intense. So if you get precip that develops out of this, you could wind up with a couple of fairly solid bands that develop. And this would be for Monday night into Tuesday. You see the upper low actually swings out east and then turns northeast. So I would watch closely. Monday night into Tuesday morning, you got to keep an eye on this area here, because that's where you might see the snow being made up on the back side of this. So just to review once again, as far as a changeover is concerned, it gets really complicated in storms like this, where they happen basically in two parts. First, you get what we call the advection precip, a warm air advecting northeastward into the cold air. That's the arm that comes through for Sunday into Sunday night. And then you get the upper low on the backside, and that is for later Monday night into Tuesday. So again, I would be concerned because of the fact that you have this very intense feature aloft, that somebody could wind up with a bit of a surprise for the coastal areas. I can't rule that out. And in fact, I'm going to use I'm going to look at the positive snow growth map, and this is a good map to use. Again, this is the NAM model, so It doesn't mean it's right. It's been going back and forth on these aggressive looks. But the positive snow growth map is supposed to take into account melting, and it's supposed to take into account the sleet and freezing rain and everything else that's in the mix. So if you look by tomorrow evening, it doesn't really show very much here at all in terms of accumulation. Even in areas up to the north in the Hudson Valley into southeastern New England, it only gives a couple of inches. It really blossoms out later on as you get into Monday night, and Tuesday. And you'll notice, you see that purple area moves across northeastern Pennsylvania into northern New Jersey to about New York City and western Long Island here Monday night into Tuesday morning. So something I'm going to really pay close attention to here going forward. Just want to take a quick look. They were in the process of updating winter storm warnings and everything else in New York. They still haven't updated this as of 4 o'clock. We do have updates done by the Mount Holly office. The winter storm warnings up for Morris, Warren, and Sussex counties. Also, the counties in northeastern Pennsylvania. They have gone through to winter weather advisories for Somerset County, for Middlesex County, also for Hunterdon, Mercer, and then into the counties into southeast PA, including Philadelphia. So Trenton, Philadelphia, Lancaster, Harrisburg, all of this is winter weather advisories. Most of this is going to be due to sleet and some freezing rain. Again, waiting for New York to see what Upton, what they do. And we're also waiting to see what Boston's going to do. Further north in upstate New York, we have winter storm warnings that are up to Albany and beyond, going up the Hudson Valley as far north as Glens Falls, and going back west to Syracuse, Binghamton, Oneonta, and then going east into Massachusetts and southern Vermont. So I suspect that Boston and New York are going to fill in the blanks shortly. I just wanted to get this weather in 10 done for everybody before we get into the evening hours. I'll be coming out with some more updates on Patreon going through this evening, and there'll be a full weather summary out shortly once all the warnings are posted. And I'm thinking I'm going to attempt a live stream tonight, but I might do it more along the lines of 8 o'clock Eastern time, so I can get a little dinner in me. All right, snow removal guys, if you need to reach me, you know where to find me. Just message me if you've got any additional questions. Remember, it's a 2-part event. All right, the first shot tomorrow, the coastal areas, Long Island, much of New Jersey, down into southeastern Pennsylvania. It'll be a quick burst of sleet or wet snow, or in some areas inland to some freezing rain, and then it goes over to rain with the freezing rain, sleet, and snow issues as you go north of New York City, and particularly as you go north of 287. And then we'll be watching the backside developments for later Monday night into early Tuesday.